But again, here is the great news that neuroscience is now teaching us about depression, that those very structural changes that I said that can happen in the brain can be completely reversed.
Wow.
Completely reversed, because the brain is incredible. It has an ability called neuroplasticity, two abilities actually. One is called neuroplasticity, the ability for the brain neurons to regrow, to strengthen, to form new circuits. But also another ability, which is neurogenesis. Neurogenesis. It's just a fancy name. All it means is genesis, creation. New nerve neurons will start to form out of nowhere. Okay, so both those things are showing us that even if parts of our brains are shutting down, which they do in depression, under the right conditions, everything can regrow and you can come back to normal. Not only that, you can be better than you were before you went into the depression.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That is, yeah.
So that is the great hope. That is the great hope.
Yes.
Now, I can talk to you in a moment.
Sorry. I read about Dr. Caroline Leaf and how
Yes.
she explains it kind of like almost like a forest of trees.
Yes.
You know, that are either burnt away, and then, you know, and explaining how the neurons are like trees that grow back in your brain. Is that kind of how, you know, it is in your view?
That is exactly it. That is exactly it. And Caroline Leaf also talks a lot about, toxic thoughts are like trees in our brain that can affect the way we feel, the way we think. But when it comes to depression, there are many things that lead into someone getting depression. So it could be negative thinking that they've developed over a period of time, but it could be also just that they've grown up in a home where they saw mom or dad or a person in authority, their carer, having depression, or even just dealing with life in an unhealthy way. And I think this is probably a big problem with Asian cultures, in that we don't like to share our pain with our loved ones. We tend to sweep things under the carpet. We tend to pretend that everything's fine, because there's a big stigma associated with depression. It's like it's a taboo subject. No one wants to say, I'm struggling mentally, I'm struggling with my studies, my job is getting too much, I'm still haven't got over the death of my father, mother, my grandparent 2 years ago. People don't want to be open, so they're trying to put on a bright face, but actually, what's happening inside is that the depression is working itself. And often there's a trigger as well, something extra that happens that pushes the person who's already got an underlying depression into depression, full-blown clinical depression. But the reason I'm saying all that is because, you asked the question, can it be reversed? So what scientists and neuroscientists are showing is that it can be 100% reversed, but you have to do certain things with your life that are going to help you. So I can come into, so the number one thing is to see a doctor, but I can talk about that in a moment, and about medication. But really the strategy is about helping a person feel connected, helping a person feel like they've got some strategies to deal with negative things that happen in their world. Yeah, so it's a sort of a combined approach of doctor, family, community that will help a person not only just reverse the effects of depression, they can regrow their cells, regrow their neurons, and actually become stronger for their future.
Yes, that's incredible. Yeah. The thought that there are tools available that if you intentionally apply in your life, you don't have to go back to what you were, but you can go back to being better. That there is that
correct
hope that,
absolutely.
So that is incredible. And I guess, the way you've explained what happens in terms of the brain, that's fascinating. That's really fascinating. Um,